trial for Prisonplanet.tv, and today we're launching 2 new specials. We have 44% off The Patriot, where you can now get an entire year instead of $71.40 for $39.95. That's called The Patriot at Prisonplanet.tv. All my films, my book, the Higher Quality Podcast, my weeknight TV show, the daily radio show, all of it. That's all at Prisonplanet.tv. We only offer this in the month of November and December every year. It's The Patriot, $39.95 instead of $71.40. Or get the Info Warrior, 70% off. Normally $430, now $129, a year membership, and all 18 of my films that are on DVD for $129.95. That's what also funds this truly alternative media system. We're not like J.P. Morgan that just goes into MF Global and, takes your bank account. You actually support us if you believe in us. Speaking of Gerald Celente, Gerald, I hope the Trends Journal can continue after they've robbed you. Incredible information. How do folks subscribe over at the Trends Journal? TrendsJournal.com. That's the easiest way to go, TrendsJournal.com. And actually, I urge everyone out there to get your CDs, because when you see what you said long before anyone else did, particularly in the Obama deception, which I'm so familiar with, everybody will think twice when they vote this coming November, because we really don't have a choice. They talk about this guy, this guy Romney, Mittens Romney over there, the tough guy who wants to go to war all the time, that was hiding in France during the Vietnam War, trying to peddle Mormonism to the almost all Catholic, wine-drinking, cigarette-smoking, coffee-drinking, Brigitte Bardot-loving French, that Mittens. He's now, this guy is the kind of guy that's a Corzine character. He talks about creating jobs. He's just one of these hedge fund guys with Bain Capital. They don't create jobs. They destroy them. They buy up companies, pull out the money they can, get multi-millions from it, become, half a billionaires, and then everybody loses their job as they walk away. So when you look at the Obama deception, when you look at your other pieces of work, you better unite for a cause that has morality. And that's what you're doing, Alex. You're telling the truth out there and uncovering these criminal activities like no one else is doing in the media. So everyone out there, that if you want to live free before you die, you better come up with a little bit of cash. Do something positive for Christmas. Gerald, you're awesome. We're back in 1 minute. I want to get into how the global meltdown is going to take place, phone calls, and more with Gerald Celente. Gerald Celente, for another 20 minutes, is our guest. TrendsResearch.com for the daily updates. And also, if you want to subscribe, really invaluable information. Top trends forecaster Gerald Celente is with us. This is a short 5-minute segment, a little 12-minute segment coming up with your calls after this quick break. Gerald, Bank of America, as you know, 4 weeks ago, said we're moving our $79 trillion in derivatives that are bad over into an area that's going to be taxpayer backed. So that's another way they rob us. But now, as you mentioned, these hedge funds go in, buy up companies, steal the pension funds, the employees, whatever. Now they're just grabbing people's bank accounts of brokerage firms they take over. I mean, as you said, why aren't they getting in trouble? And I think as they get away with more and more incredible things, that only encourages the others. I mean, how far will they go? Where do you see this ending? Well, the system is collapsing, as I said. I really want to warn everyone. I don't care who your money is with, whatever kind of account you have, a savings account, checking account, a stock account, and I'll name the names, whether it's with Charles Schwab, that friendly-looking guy, or Mr. Raymond James, or with ETFs, or with Fidelity. Fidelity, when they crash, you're going to see some good infidelity. They're going to screw you at any level they can, and they'll do whatever they can if this system continues to collapse in the rate that it is. There's a panic over in Europe. Here's the deal. The French and German banks
are heavily loaded with these worthless Italian, Greek, and other bonds. So too with other countries. Hungary right now is going through a panic. You're looking at one country after another that's beginning to fail. So here's what they do. They're bringing in those so-called technocrats to build confidence. Think of the word confidence. Con man, confidence game. Con, that's all it is. The system is collapsing. I'm warning everyone to use your own good judgment and understand why you heard over and over again that people used to take the money out of the banks and put it under the mattress, because they're going to steal it in other forms just as they stole it from me. And then you have a clown like Gary Gensler, who was the head of the Commodities Future Trading Commission, that's supposed to be the watchdog over the CME group to make sure that companies like MF aren't taking your money out of segregated funds saying, oh, I don't want to get involved in it now. Oh, no, because, you know, it may disrupt things. Hey, Gary, where were you before? You know, who are they kidding over here? The whole thing is a game that's rigged by Wall Street. Look at the names. Who was the Treasury Secretary under Clinton? Rubin. Where was he from? Hey, Goldman Sachs. Who was the one under Clinton? Under Bush. It was, Henry Paulson. Where was he from? Goldman Sachs. Where's Gensler from? Goldman Sachs. Where's Corzine from? Goldman Sachs. Mr. Salenti, are you inferring that there's a connection between criminality and Goldman Sachs? Oh, no, they're wonderful people. After all, Lloyd Blankfein, I heard him say with my own 2 ears, he's doing God's work. Boy, I'll tell you, God's playing a dirty trick if he's doing God's work. Well,
he's talking about Beelzebub, not the God we worship.
I know.
Yeah, he's doing Satan's work. Stay there. Let's come back then. Stay there. Final segment with Gerald Celente. Finish up with this information straight ahead. Amazing. What's going on? What's happening? Trendsresearch.com. We'll be right back. Stay with us. Okay, I want to go to your phone calls here for Gerald Celente. Quick questions, quick comments, quick answers from him. But I wanted to bring up something that he mentioned last night on InfoWars Nightly News. By the way, that whole thing is now posted in the article. MF Global looted customers' accounts via internal bank run. If you want to find that video, it's at the bottom of the article. The video itself is titled Zombie Banks Drain Celente's Account, because it's a consortium, Goldman Sachs, JP Morgan, and now it's coming out. They're all involved using MF Global as just a fake holding company. And that's how they do this over and over again. But you raised the point, and Max Kaiser talked about this 6 months ago, or a year ago, really, about how as gold and silver goes up, these companies were in there on record naked shorting. I mean, you're an expert in gold and silver trading, so you can break it down for us, in the futures, manipulating it down, and that they would really get caught short as the price went up, and that we'd see more and more of this non-delivery. From your research, do you think that has anything to do with this, with the December contracts coming up?
I really do. I don't think they have the gold to give out. And I've also heard, and I don't know if this is a fact, but I've heard this before, that, for example, with ETFs, the GLD, it's supposed to be being held by HSBC in their vaults, and I've heard that HSBC is one of the biggest shorts, taking the biggest short positions on gold. So in other words, they're supposed to be holding gold, but they're betting that the prices are going to go down. And this is important, Alex, because when I say take your money out of the banks, and why they put it in the mattress, I'm not saying to keep it in that phony paper money. For me, I'm not giving anyone advice. For me, when I take it out, I buy gold. I buy it in coins. I used to buy it in contracts. And I used to buy it from reputable companies. So what I'm saying, for me, When I'm saying I take my money out of the bank, I buy gold and I buy silver. And it goes back to GC's 3Gs. Goals, guns, and a getaway plan. This thing is collapsing around us. Oh, I was mentioning about three-card Monty over there that's taken over Italy from Berlusconi. He's also a member of the Bilderberg Group.
Of course.
Son of a gun. Who would have ever thought that?
Listen, of the last year, of the 130 guests there, more than 60 were Goldman Sachs. I mean, I don't remember the exact number, I think 67. I mean, this is incredible. This is the inner coterie. Now, I wanted to raise one more point with you, dealing with the economy and everything that's happening. You mentioned individuals digging in, not because we're in fear, but because we're empowered and ready for whatever the situation is. Look at what governments are doing for a decade since they got rid of Glass-Steagall. They've been digging in. They've been getting ready. The Pentagon admits they've been preparing a decade ago for collapse. They knew all this was coming. They think they're going to ride the crisis they created. They're going to bring down the world just like they bring down companies. They go in and liquidate and steal the pension funds and butcher it. This is really a hostile takeover, 1,000 times worse than the Charlie Sheen Wall Street that came out in the 80s. This is what they're doing. And they really are so arrogant up there in their big high-rises and all their armed guards, they think they're going to get away with this, Gerald. And I tell you, like Ron Paul said, if they get away with this, we deserve it. If we sit here when they destroy the dollar, steal our accounts, set up checkpoints, grope our wives, then I guess we do deserve it, Gerald.
I agree with you. When are the people going to find some courage and self-respect and stop looking up to politicians? How can an adult actually behave like this is beyond me? And you have to take the future in your own hands and create the future. And you know, we're going to be doing a documentary, and there's a short out there now about me talking, and I come and I say it's all about morality. I mean, that's all it is. It's do unto others, and there's no morality anymore. Whether it's at the top of the game with the Goldman Sachs gangs and the others and starting phony wars, or down to the welfare cheat of the person trying to go on disability. Everybody's gaming the system. So it goes back to morals. And I'm not talking about religion. I'm talking about spirituality, the individual. So, and as I said this before, Alex, there's that wonderful Hindu and Buddhist saying, whichever one, when the student's ready, the teacher appears. The people have to get ready. They have to find the morality within them, because when enough find it, then the future will change. Only until that happens. That's right.
People think America's too big to fail, and okay, we're corrupt, but it'll be okay. No, the bigger they are, the harder they fall. And I mean, folks, I'm concerned. I mean, this is real. This is another big signpost. What's happened to Gerald and 30,000+ other people, and it's just going to get worse. It shows. This is the former New Jersey governor. This is the guy invested with the head of the commission that controls it. These people, like Bernie Madoff said, he said, I do what everybody does. And it's true. At that level, they're all like Bernie Madoff.
That's right. And by the way, there's this February 27th New York Magazine story that Bernie did out of his cell over the telephone. And there were two things that he said in this otherwise worthless story. One, that he learned that the game was rigged for the members, Journal.com. And actually, I urge everyone out there to get your CDs, because when you see what you said long before anyone else did, particularly in the Obama deception, which I'm so familiar with, everybody
was into MF Global and, takes your bank account. You actually support us if you believe in us. Speaking of Gerald Celente, Gerald, I hope the Trends Journal can continue after they've robbed you. Incredible information. How do folks subscribe over at the Trends Journal?
TrendsJournal.com. That's the easiest way to go. Trends
book, the higher quality podcast, my weeknight TV show, the daily radio show, all of it. That's all at Prisonplanet.tv. We only offer this in the month of November and December every year. It's the Patriot, $39.95 instead of $71.40. Or get the Info Warrior, 70 trial for Prisonplanet.tv. And today we're launching two new specials. We have 44% off the Patriot, where you can now get an entire year instead of $71.40 for $39.95. That's called The Patriot at prisonplanet.tv. All my films, my % off. Normally $430, now $129, a year membership, and all 18 of my films that are on DVD for $129.95. That's what also funds this truly alternative media system. We're not like J.P. Morgan that just goes